Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 17th of May. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, big weekend, although there is some funny business going on at the moment. Funny business.
Be careful of funny business, buyers and sellers. You don't want to... What sort of funny business?
Well, the funny business is, Gary, is that now that the market has tightened up a little bit, and perhaps the balance is now tipping towards the buyers instead of the sellers, a lot of agents have gone AWOL.
Oh, it's underground. The underground agent. You won't
they
find them
have
anywhere.
Gone missing in action.
It's
they might have.
It's a bit early to find them in Mykonos. They're usually there in July, but you won't find an agent now. There's many that are hiding.
So what does that mean, Gary? It means that if an agent has 10 auctions and they sell 3 or 4 or 5, let's say they sell 5 out of 10.
Okay.
They report the 5 that sell, of course. Hey, we sold this. But they don't report the unreported sales that they didn't make.
I kid you not, I don't know if you remember this, but there was an agent in our marketplace who said, we sell 100% of all reported sales. So I think that was gorgeous. It did happen, and I mean, it was just extraordinary. Anyway, let's just talk a bit about the clearance rate. So let's put the towers up. We can put the tower up of our clearance rate because we were 21 of 28.
75%,
75%. That's a legitimate, strong tower, legitimate, and then we could put a bit of a wobbly tower next to it, Bill, because I think there should be a bit of
a leaning tower of other agents.
Where 64% is the clearance rate, but I reckon more like 60, high 50s.
I reckon it was 60%. So what is all...
Ours is a fair income.
What does all this mean, viewers, when we report the GP...
love fair income. You don't hear much of fair income being said today. Is it part of the vernacular anymore?
It is. If you go to Cootamundra, you hear a lot of fair income.
Fair income over there.
But Gary, when we report our reports, and particularly on GPTV, it is a 100% accurate report because we're saying we sold how many out of what? 21
it's what the young people
out of
today
28.
Feel called legitness.
Legitness?
Yeah, that's young cool people say that's legitness right there.
So no one can speak the proper English anymore, the Queen's English, Gary. But yes, 75%, we're pretty proud of that. But what is happening, viewers, out there in the marketplace? Look, it's getting harder.
Hey,
there's no question.
Hey, Phil, we did say in our sales meeting yesterday, though, that many of those auctions that sold were very competitive. In fact,
good point.
We saw that. We saw many auctions. I mean, I'm just sort of got all this data here, but I'm running through 3 bidders, 5 bidders, 2 bidders, 2 bidders, 2 bidders, 3 bidders.
Well, Gary, you said in the sales meeting,
4 bidders, 3 bidders, 3 bidders, 3 bidders.
You said in the sales meeting yesterday, Gary, of the properties that we sold, 17 had multiple people bidding on them. So there is a depth of interest to the market. I think one thing, viewers, you need to understand is that if the price is right, and let's be clear, buyers always respond to value. When you put your price range up too high, and that might be vendor driven, it might be just, a house around the corner sold for this, and we think ours is good as that, or it could be an inflating agent. But if your price is showing value, buyers are responding to it, and we are getting multiple bidders on things. But has the market settled, Gary? Has the market come down?
It has settled. It has come down a little bit, and I think it's a great time to be a buyer right now because the opportunity is there. I think if you're a buyer, Phil, everything's in alignment, but it won't stay. One thing we know is it doesn't stay in alignment. It doesn't take long to tip back into the vendor's favour because before you know it, Phil, there'll be less listings because we're in an area where people just simply say, I don't need to sell, I don't care, I'll wait.
So there's a bit of commentary in yesterday's financial review, and if anybody's watching and they want the copy of this, I'll gladly send it to you. ideas@garypeer.com.au, it's up on screen now. But
I miss the truth. I know you like that, Pay. I miss the truth.
An article in the Fin Review just saying pretty much what we're saying. Market's already settled. Probably the price reductions may well be behind us. So today's prices are not the ebullient prices from November and December of last year. So we've already settled. You get your pricing right today, and you can see what happened with us on the weekend. 17 of our properties had highly competitive bidding, including one in Kelburn, Gary, which I'm not sure we're going to talk about. Well, you can talk about that.
Viewers, hey, tell me something. I'm asking you a question. Is the sleeves too short or is the jacket too too long.
The jacket is too long and the sleeves are too short. So you got the
combination.
You got the what do they call that? The double, is it?
It's the daily double.
Short sleeves and long jacket. You look frightful.
Okay.
Thankfully you're Thankfully you're a handsome man, Gary. So
thanks for that.
So at least your head looks okay, but the rest of, pretty much from the neck down, it's not looking too pretty. Viewers. The question is, what is value? I mean, that's the question we're being asked the time. Every single person at every auction just says to me, Philip, what does value mean? Well, have I got a value question for you? Viewers, think about this. A typical apartment, a typical investment apartment, call it $500,000. Yep. Right? Would you prefer, if you have the choice, viewers, I could give you 560 two-bedroom apartments. 560, not 5, not 6, but I could give you 560 apartments.
That's a lot.
Two-bedroom apartments. That's a massive number.
500.
Call it that's 30 or 40 blocks of apartments. Okay. What would you choose? 560, 500,000 apartments,
or land tax there.
An Andy Warhol painting of Norma Jean, which sold for $280 million. So the painting in your study, or you wouldn't put it in the study, would you? You'd put it in your
bedroom.
You'd put it in your most prominent room, right? Okay. Let's say you put it in your kitchen meals family room, so you can look at your Andy Warhol Norma Jean, or you could drive around with your partner and your family and your kids, or rent a bus and drive all day, showing your friends and your family. These are all the apartments I own, or one Norma Jean painting.
When they said goodbye Norma Jean, they didn't know that there was going to be a $280 million price tag attached to it.
$280 million.
I mean, mind you, you buy that Norma Jean, what is it, a print, is it?
No, it's an Andy Warhol original painting.
Okay.
Right?
So $280 million, I mean, there's no land tax on that. You know, there's benefits, there's no land tax, there's no maintenance, there's no tenant issues.
Tell me, how much income do you reckon you get from that painting?
Well, it's not the amount of income, Phil, it's the joy.
560 apartments at an average rental of $25,000 per apartment. I'm pretty sure I'd just buy a plane to take me to the Museum of Modern Art whenever I wanted, just to visit that painting.
Look at someone else, and imagine if you didn't screw it onto the wall properly. That wouldn't be good, would it? If it dropped. We're getting right off track. I don't even know why you brought that in.
It's a question of value, Gary. I mean, how do you value anything? At least with bricks and mortar, you can say, well, there is a natural market for a two-bedroom apartment. I know that I can rent it. I know that I can visit it. I know I can put I can put a friend into it. You know that it's got a value. I mean, how do you value a painting at $280 million? Something is out of kilter. Something is out of whack. That's not normal.
Can we get back to real estate, Phil? We usually go through the properties and we sort of talk about the properties coming up, and then we have the sort of feature properties, and then we have the sold property. I'm going to launch straight into some of the feature properties, Phil, that we've got, because there are some properties that I've got to say I've made the mistake of falling a little bit too much in love with. One of those properties, Philip, you did a great video at number 387 Glen Eira Road, Caulfield North. How about this beautiful period home? Oh, we're in it now. I love it how we talk about it, and all of a sudden we're in it. We're in it now. You can see it all around us.
Gary, the joy of this property, which is, not a Norma Jean painting that you can only look at, the value and the joy of this property is that it's been renovated so beautifully. It's got so much character, warmth. The period features are incredible, but it's been modernised, which means you can move straight into it. And you're also on a good parcel of land that faces north at the back. That's right. So that's a complete family package, if you ask me.
Solid brick, beautiful period homes, lovely, luxurious improvements, Philip, over the years. And again, as you said, very private and sun-drenched northern courtyard. Anyway, go and see the video if you haven't seen it, and come to the auction. Well, you've got a week to see it before the auction. The auction's on the week after this, 387 Glen Eira Road. Also, love this property, Philip, in Windsor, in number 20 Atkinson Close. What an interesting home this is. And this home, which is in a beautiful pocket, a little kind of cul-de-sac. No one really knows about Atkinson Close, but this double-storey modern masterpiece, Phil, opens up at the back to a park. It's quite unique, isn't it?
Yes, again, I did the video there, Gary, where you even see me walking through that gate to the parkland at the rear.
Is that right?
I have to watch that video. A special property, Gary, and it comes with a lock-up garage, but who needs a car when you live in Atkinson Close, because you can walk to the train station in Windsor, you can walk to Chapel Street, Windsor, you can walk to the tram in Dandenong Road, you can walk to the tram in High Street.
You should.
It's almost, it's a completely overindulged property for options. Rent the garage out to somebody that wants to store, you know, old rubbish that they just haven't thrown out, but they just can't get rid of, which is like most people. Clear your houses out of clutter. Give your stuff away to charity. If you haven't used it in the last 6 months, you don't need it. Liberate yourself.
I couldn't do that.
Do what is it, Marie Kondo or whatever her name is that you need to hold your possessions, Gary. You need to see whether it gives you joy. If it doesn't give you immediate joy, you get rid of it.
All my possessions give me joy. I can't let go of anything. I'm a hoarder, Phil. What do you do then?
Oh, Gary, you live in a house where you have to climb over things to get something that you didn't want anyway.
One of those hoarder types, Phil. Arlene said, don't you dare go to GPTV today without talking about one at 678 Inkerman Road, Caulfield North. This is a great townhouse, Philip, and in that kind of low to mid ones, I think there's going to be a lot of interest in it. A beautiful town residence of 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, quite unique and beautifully presented.
Walking distance to Caulfield Park, walking distance to the tram and Hawthorne Road. Love that.
Sure is. Now, Phil, you're going to be away this weekend. You've got a...
No, I'm only away Saturday, Gary. Right. I'm going up to Sydney tomorrow.
Yep.
One of my nieces, I've got twin nieces.
I remember those little nieces, those little munchkins running around the farm, running in and out of the pig pen, playing with the snake, playing with the guns in Cootamundra. They were doing all of that stuff.
There were snakes and guns, but there were no pig pens.
Okay, sorry.
And they're now no longer little, but Eira is getting married to Matt.
Congratulations.
Thursday night. So I'm going up on Wednesday. I'm going to have Thursday and Friday in Sydney.
She's going to have a Matt's finished.
And
Matt's finished.
And I'm going to go and have a look at houses in Sydney, Gary, where a house in Melbourne is the deposit on a house in Sydney.
Great. It doesn't seem to ever stop there, does it, Phil?
You go up there and you hear every week they sell a house for 20 million, 30 million, 40 million.
That semi went for 9 million over there, so there's going to work.
Mad.
They're all crazy.
Why doesn't everybody from Sydney leave and live in Melbourne?
Have trams.
Yeah,
and rain. Oh, mind you, they've had plenty of rain there, haven't they? More than we have.
Anyway, looking forward to getting up to Sydney, and I will be back for the auctions on Sunday, Gary, which I cannot wait. What have you got coming up?
David Thompson, Phil, had a big weekend. He did a great auction at 110 Raglan Street, Port Melbourne, which was expected to get... Well, we are. No, we are. We're going back. We're all over the place, Phil. But that was expected to get somewhere in that kind of high 7s, low 8s. But lo and behold, Phil, it took off a 1-bedroom house in Port Melbourne selling for $962,000.
Yep.
That will happen to you in
Does that mean
Port
a
Melbourne.
2-bedroom house in Port Melbourne would be double?
Every bedroom, just another $1 million, Phil. I don't know if it works that way, but we are just being jocular. Phil, 2 at 20 Rosella Street, Murrumbeena.
There's a word that never gets used.
Not
jocular.
enough. It's
when was the last time you used jocular
or jocularity? Jocularity.
You'd like a little drift? I've got some Hunter hand wash, a lovely Hunter hand wash. If you can let us know at ideas@garypeard.com.au. When was the last time you used jocular in a sentence, and what was that sentence?
Phil, Rosella Street, Murrumbeena, had 5 bidders there, but it's got passed in and sold just after auction for $749,500. Graham Caulfield does a damn good job, Phil, and 58 Shepparson Street, Carnegie. He enjoyed auctioning, sold for $1,545,000 with 3 bidders. We're talking about what's hot out there, Phil. Yep. What are people fighting for? They're fighting for good apartments too in that $500,000 to $600,000 range. 8 at 296 Inkerman Street, Phil, was sold for $553,000, well above expectation in its range. Well done to Aviv and Leo Samuel. And I did an auction, Philip, which went for an hour. I think there was something like 49 bids or something like that. There were a lot of bids. Number 6 at 530, Glen Eira Road, Elstamick. Thank you to the vendors for the opportunity to represent them as they have employed us in the past, Phil. 3 bidders going for it, Phil, sold for $636,000 to a very excited young lady buying her first home. Phil, Hartley Avenue, I just want to talk about because we haven't got that many auctions. We haven't got many auctions going. Let's just have a cup of tea over there. Phil, the unit in Hartley Avenue, 4 at 527 Hartley Avenue, has not yet been sold, but I want to talk about it.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, beautiful wraparound lounge dining room, renovated kitchen, north-facing courtyard garden, lock-up garage, is deep value at, I think, $970,000.
Yep. As we wind up, Phil, I'm just going to talk about 593 Inkerman Road. Jeremy Rosen sold that for $1,540 under competition. 3 bidders there. Alexandra Street went off, Phil, like a prawn in the sun. 343, not off in that way, went off as in bang, wow. 3 at 43 Alexandra Street, St Kilda East. Phil, sold for $1,103,000.
Just leave your hand there, Gary, and I'm just going to say to Mr. Cameraman, I just want you to see, you can see here, this is you can see Gary's, this shirt's right back there.
I haven't worked it out.
He's got these long sleeves that almost cover his knuckles.
I haven't worked it out,
His prehistoric knuckles.
It becomes almost a glove.
So Gary, your shirt should sit just there.
Yeah.
The jacket should sit there so you see the white of the shirt.
You know, you've got the old person skin now. I think we both do.
I'm going to the dermatologist soon, but that's the way it should
look.
Can
you get Botox in your hand?
Not like that. It's just ridiculous.
Fair enough. 343 Alexandra Street. I mean, you're obviously mistaken with someone that cares, but I should. But I don't. 343 Alexandra Street. Phil, 3 bidders sold for $1,103,000. That one in Hartley Road sold for $636, and I mentioned. And Phil, I want to talk about something that was spectacularly interesting and exciting.
Go on.
That is the auction of 21 Kelburn Street, Caulfield North. Now, how about this?
What a lovely home.
Undisclosed price, Philip.
Yes.
Let's call it in the, it was quoted in the low to mid twos, and it went for more, but we won't talk about exactly how much. But 3 bidders came on the day, bid like crazy, and none of them had ever been there before.
So Gary,
what do you make of
that's the thing about sometimes in Caulfield North.
Wow.
When people say, look, let's just go, why don't we go shopping this afternoon? Most people think that's a trip to Chadstone or go down Carlisle Street or I don't know, High Street, Armidale. I mean, we're spoilt for choice, but that's what most people would do. But no, in Caulfield North, Gary, people say, let's go shopping. I think we might just buy a house this afternoon. I mean, why wouldn't we? Because we haven't bought a house for a while, so let's go and buy one.
3 bidders fighting for a house. Never seen it before. There you go. And interestingly enough, the vendors in our pre-auction meeting, Phil, said, "Do you think there's a chance someone might just bid who haven't been there before?" And I said, "Well, there's always a chance. You don't think that's. It's almost like they brought the karma to themselves, Phil. Positive
karma.
Positive karma. There you go.
Good news. It's a good news story.
Yeah, it's a good news story. We've got only 9 auctions this weekend.
Let's
Phil.
talk about
that's a bit of a good news story
Let's
as well.
Jump into that right now.
Let's go into review mode, Philip. Now that block won the Esplanade. I'm pretty sure Ron Barassi lives in that block, or he used to, Phil.
And if he does, and he's wanted to keep it a secret up until now, well, the story's out, and mind you, he was one of Melbourne Football Club's most famous player and coach. Of course I know, 31.
I think it was 37, wasn't it?
It's 31. And if it wasn't 31, it could be a higher number or a lower number, but I'm pretty sure it was 31. And if he does...
Somebody tell us, please.
If he does live there, just a little trivia, when I was 13... Ron Barassi and his wife, Cheryl, came and stayed at our house because my father, here's a bit of trivia, my father was president of the Cootamundra Football Club.
Right.
Or if he wasn't the president, he was
on the board
or benefactor or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was a big shot.
So they got Ron Barassi to come and speak to the annual dinner, and they had to have Ron Barassi stay somewhere. So they said to my father, David, why don't you put him up? And of course, we jumped at that. Anyway, he stayed at our house.
Did you hang around his room and sleep in there at night?
I've got to tell you, off camera, I will tell you a story about Ron Barassi and what I discovered, but it's an off-camera thing. Anyway, 30 apartment. Amazing how we can just go off.
To a hotel,
30 apartment 32 at One the Esplanade, St Kilda. That is a beachside oasis, Gary, and that is 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a car space. And if Ron Barassi does live there, no doubt he will welcome you if you're a Melbourne supporter.
And if you wonder what happened to your wallet all those years ago in Cootamundra, look, Philip probably invested into a little property somewhere. It's probably worth a few $100 million today. So, or did you put it in a Warhol? Maybe.
And if you do want to know the truth behind the story that I'm not saying on GPTV, give me a call. I'll meet you at the bus stop in Kooyong Road at 1:30 in the morning, and I'll spill the beans.
You might be better off without that one. 112 Murrumbeena Road, Murrumbeena. Graham Callan auctions this great looking home at 11:30.
Gary, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, but what a great property that is. It's 600 square metres of land with a GRZ1 zoning. Lots of opportunity there, and a pretty home.
If you're free at 11:30 a.m, Philip, go straight to Bent Street, Philip.
Don't turn left or don't turn right.
Go straight to Bent Street.
Yep, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, and that is a beautiful home. And Bent Street is a fantastic location.
Jeremy Rose is doing 3 auctions on Saturday. Philip is also going to be at 2 at 6 Emma Street in Caulfield South.
Gary, gotta love that. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, which is unusual. Single story. We love that property, and of course, we love Emma.
We do, and it's going to be very popular there, Phil. And in the words of Glen, Little River Band, oh, pretty Emma. That is pretty Emma. Phil, we're going to say Stella Vista to Bella Vista at 3:30 p.m, which is our last auction of the day.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Love Bella Vista. You can walk to Hawthorne Road, you can walk to Caulfield Park, you can walk to the Malvern train station, you can walk to the tram and Dandenong Road, and you can walk to Glenferrie Road. And when I say walk, not a brisk walk, not a long walk, but a very short
walk. Not like
a
walk to Sydney. That would be a very long, you'd have to be Cliff Young to do that, wouldn't you? Have a very long walk. Phil, on Sunday we only have 4 auctions. There is double auction action at 12:30. We're going to have a little sleep in maybe on Sunday morning. 12:30, 2 at 12, St Albans Avenue. Love that address.
Stay tuned, may no longer be available to auction on the weekend, Gary. So if you are interested in that property, no doubt you've received a phone call, but that may not be going to auction. It may be well wrapped up and sold by then.
At the same time, Philip Leo Samuel is going to be auctioning in Neeram Road in his hood in Carnegie. 2
bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, Gary, and a beautiful courtyard garden. You've got to love that property.
You've got to love Howitt Road, Phil. There is no better street in Caulfield North, possibly not even anywhere in Melbourne. 41 Howitt Road is an incredible property being auctioned at 1:30 p.m.
Epicentre of the Golden Mile, so west-facing back garden, 1,091 square metres of land, the most fastidiously renovated, in fact almost rebuilt home. It's got the best of everything. It doesn't get any better than that.
It is a spectacular home, Philip, as is our auction that rounds out Sunday at 2:30 p.m. This has been very popular. I think a lot of people are going to be at this auction. Philip, number 13A, Crotonhurst Avenue in Caulfield.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, undercover parking for 2 cars. That is a fabulous property. Crotonhurst is such a popular part of Caulfield North. An excellent spot and a beautiful home.
That's a big wrap, Phil, on this week's GPTV, the late May edition. We're heading into June. Some good properties still coming through, and some of our open inspections have been busy, so there's still a good vibe in the market, notwithstanding, Phil, at revised prices. I think the prices have been revised, it would be fair to say, but that is just the best time to buy.
Do you know,